For Waka GDs, it's your boy Dada Yeke, aka Head Dada, you feel me? But listen up, bro. How y'all been? Tell me in the comment section below. 100 subs before the end of this month. Should be easy because I need one more. Today, right? We're gonna react to Young Don the Sauce God, you feel me? But it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a long video, so grab your chips, everything. But he's gonna explain why men and women can't be friends. Now before we start off, right? I wanna give my quick little opinion, you feel me? And I have to kinda agree. I have to agree. Like, there's two ways men and women can be friends, you feel me? If there's no attraction to one another, like that, if the man ain't attracted to the woman and the woman ain't attracted to the man, it can work. I actually feel like that's the only way, because most guys, me included, will never try something because there's no point, right? But if she was down, you would do it. You feel me? If she would come to you and she wanted to do something, you'll be like, shit, I thought you never asked. You feel me? So can you then really be friends? I don't know. Maybe if you're not attracted to her. You feel me? So that's my opinion. You feel me? So let's get it.
Welcome back.
Let me grab a drink real quick.
Consistently the last couple of days, but it's because I've been working on this. The definitive guide on why men can't just be friends with women. You have asked, and now you shall receive. Now, before we get into it, though, let's start it off right here. A video by the title, Why Men and Women Can't Be Friends. This will give us a nice little jumping off point to go into my presentation. So let's watch.
Okay, that's what.
The Utah State University Library
Utah
for some
State
interviewing to ask people if they believe that men and women
My
can be
bad.
just friends. So let's go inside and see what we can find. Do you believe that men and women can be just friends?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
All women
Yes,
gonna
I
say
do.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna say
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Of course they're gonna say this.
I think
You ready? He's like,
it'd be hard to do.
Here we got an honest
I mean,
man.
we're all men, so of course we're going to have those feelings.
What you
And
saying?
we can be content with just friendship, and we can be silent regarding those feelings, but
you wanna?
That's what I'm talking about.
no.
Yes.
I don't believe so. No.
Small.
I guess what I'm saying is no.
You small.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Do you have any guy friends right now
The
who you're
soundtracks.
just friends with?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All my best friends are guys.
Whoa! All the best friends are guys, huh?
Of those guy friends, do you think any of them secretly
Can't
like you?
wife that.
Be honest.
Probably. Yeah.
Do
Come
you
on,
think that guy
if we
is
honest.
interested in you?
Yes. Okay, maybe you can only be just friends in high school, because most guys won't just be my friend.
Would
Right.
Dave hook up with you if you gave him the chance?
Well, yeah.
Do you think Trevor liked you?
Yeah.
And
You small.
would he hook up with you if you wanted to hook up?
You small.
So he likes you. So what you're saying is men and women can't be friends.
No, we can be friends.
Oh,
You're
okay.
just friends, but he likes you.
Stupid.
Yes.
So it's a one-sided friendship. If she wanted to hook up, would you hook up?
Oh, totally. Look at her.
Don't be sarcastic. I need the truth.
Seriously, yeah.
Just Bieber face. Bieber face when bro says, "Oh yeah, no, definitely, I'll smash."
All right, that's perfect. Okay.
Physical attraction. It's not possible.
But you said I just want to be just friends.
Yeah.
As we can see,
Uh-huh.
after interviewing everyone in the library,
Right.
it is impossible for men and women to be.
Just friends. Perfect. When I look up why men and women can't be friends on YouTube, and you see a couple of videos here and there, but I haven't seen anyone made an attempt to really dive deep and break down this concept as to why men and women cannot be friends. A lot of men know this. A lot of men already know it in their hearts, and a lot of women also know it in their hearts. But there's a reason I worded it like this: why men can't just be friends with women. It is far more to do with the men. than
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
the
that's
women.
it.
So what this
I feel
video
like women
shows
can do
is
it in
that
their
women
opinion,
are
but
well aware that most of
my bad.
their guy friends want to f them. Also, men by and large are typically aware of the fact that men and women cannot just be friends in the way that a man is friends with a man, a straight man that is friends with his straight friend, and a woman is friends with her female friend. So let's get into this. Can men and women have a friend-like relationship? Yes. In a nutshell, yes, you can look at a dude and a girl, they say they're friends, they look like everything is no different than a friend you may have with another man, if you're a man, or a woman if you're a woman. But here's the caveat. This friendship, this friend-like relationship is 100% dependent on the woman. This is not the case in your typical male-to-male friendship or female-to-female friendship where one person in the relationship is deciding whether or not the relationship becomes sexual or stays platonic. This is only the case in male-female relationships, and 100% of the time, except for a few exceptions which we'll get into, but you can say like 99.9% of the time, it is 100% determined by the woman. Why is it dependent on the woman? Men would become sexual with these women that they're supposedly just friends with if given the opportunity. Let me prove this to you.
Facts.
How do we know that men want to sleep with their female friends? I have a couple questions to ask you. How often do you see interracial couples? Just think about your day-to-day walking about, through life. How often do you see interracial couples?
Yeah,
You
I
might
see them,
feel,
we see them.
fairly often. If you walk the whole day, you'll probably at least see, a couple times where you see a black dude with a white girl, or a white girl with a Asian dude, or you'll see this from time to time. Well, as often as you see them, interracial relationships only make up 15% of all relationships here in America. Think about that. How often do you see gay couples? The gay population as a whole makes up less than 5% of the entire American population. I mean, now that number is kind of getting skewed because, they keep adding letters to the LGBT thing, right? But by and large, they make up about less than 5% of the population. Statistically, they make up about less than 1% of all relationships. Of course, it's hard to get a hard and fast number with this statistic, but based on marriages, if you just look at marriages alone, which is completely legal, I'm pretty sure in the entire country, save for maybe a state or two that I'm not aware of. But if you're gay and you want to get married, you can get married pretty much no problem now. And still, that only make up 1% of marriages. And how often do you see gay people walking about? You might see one, depending on where you live. You might see it every day, like if you live in LA or if you live in a more conservative place. You'll see it, maybe like once a week, or you'll see it from time to time, but that goes to show how rare it is. Now let me ask you this. How often do you see men that look like this that are friends with ugly women? Unattractive women. You see it less in interracial couples. You see it less than gay couples. How often do you see a dude that looks like this hanging out, just hanging around with a girl where he's clearly far out of her league looks wise? How often? I dare you to think of it. Just try and remember that time you saw this dude and you were like, damn, that's, no homo, pause. But that's a good looking dude. That's a handsome man right there. Just hanging out with some ugly woman. I challenge you. Go out today. Go and see if you can find it. Go. I dare you. Go look for a handsome man hanging around with an ugly woman. You're more likely to run into an interracial couple and a gay couple. An interracial gay couple, actually, really before you run into that. The point I'm making, it is extremely rare. You don't see this with male-to-male friendships. You don't see this with female-to-female friendships. Ugly women hang out with good-looking women. Ugly men hang out with good-looking men, and vice versa all the time. Why? Because in a true friendship, looks don't matter. The quality of the person's character is all that matters. Do you guys have things in common? Do you guys enjoy the same things? Do you relate to each other? Are you helpful to each other? These are the factors that come into play when a man is selecting, his friends. Now, of course, no one wants to be around someone that's completely hideous. But by and large, men don't really think about shit like that when they're picking their friends, except when it comes to women. These points about to all stick together like glue. Men are only friends with women that they will sleep with. Now here I found some pictures of what comes up when you Google platonic relationships, right? I went through 5 of the first pages on Google, could not find a single instance, even with stock pictures. In every situation, the man is at least as good looking as the woman or less good looking, meaning that in every situation of a platonic relationship, it never looks like the man is far out of the woman's league. If anything, they look like they would either make sense to be together or the woman is out of the man's league. Every situation, I hear some more right here. You never see this in male-to-male relationships, friendships, or female-to-female friendships. People of all that fall all along the look scale are friends with each other, except when it comes to these male-female friendships. Men want to sleep with their female friends.
Now that you think about it, I don't really got no female friends to begin with, like, not even like really, to be honest. But I only got attractive female friends. You feel me? So he got a
Men
point.
will not be friends with a woman that they don't want to sleep with. Do you get what I'm saying? Why is that so important? Because that's the prime objective. Because that's really what he wants. Are you listening to me? Let's talk about the exceptions, because I know some of you are thinking.
That's why I
listening there,
don't
well,
even
darn,
got female
I have
friends.
a female friend, and
Like a
to be
couple,
quite
but-
honest with you, I wouldn't. I don't think she's attractive. Dudes and women out here calling people of the opposite sex friends when y'all are not really friends. You're probably acquainted. Let's talk about him. Number one, he finds the woman especially unattractive. Now, this is the one instance where a man, I believe, can be just friends with a woman. But like we already talked about, this is extremely rare. It's so rare that I personally never seen it before. I'm just not gonna go out on the limb and say just because in 26 years of living on this planet I have never once seen it. Not when I lived in Jamaica, not when I lived in Florida, in California, in Texas, New York. I've never fucking seen it. Never seen it on the internet. I'm not gonna say just because out of all those years and all those situations I've never seen it that it doesn't happen. So if it does happen, it's obviously extremely rare. That's the only situation. Other exceptions, business relationships. This is not a real friendship. There are strings attached. Of course, if you are in a work situation, like a business relationship with a woman, even if you think she's attractive, it is in your best interest to keep the relationship professional and platonic. Because as they say, never mix business with pleasure.
Perfect.
You're gonna fuck up the bag. Nobody wants to fuck up the bag. Also, religious relationships. You know, if you have a Bible study group and there's a woman in there and you refer to her as your friend, you see her as a friend, but the basis of your relationship was formed based on your faith to God. You know what I mean? When you are in each other's presence, you're talking about God. This is not a friendship in the way that we are talking about in this video. Probably a person that is also not really a true friend. You're not sharing your deepest, darkest secrets with this person. You're probably not running inappropriate jokes with this person. You're probably on your best behavior when you're around these people. Real friendships. Think about the friendships you have for my men out there. Think about the friendships you have with your niggas. There are no strings attached. There are no expectations of each other in terms of, oh, I need this person to be doing this thing for me. You're solely friends based on the fact that you enjoy each other's company and you get along. You feel me? It's not a result of trying to make money as in a business relationship, or a result of, you know, you going to church and coincidentally this person is at that church group and so you're talking about God or whatever. So these are the exceptions to the rule. Why is it that men can't just be friends with women? Why is it the case that men are only friends with women they want to? It's all about male nature. If your goal as a man, by and large, is to reproduce and continue the species, which if you look at every single thing we do in life, it really is to serve that end. God wants us to go forth and reproduce and be plentiful. Everything he tells us to do is to serve that end in as successful a manner as possible. Men go out and work, get houses, get cars, you know, build up resources, all for the sake of...
Hold on, 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. You feel me? Alright.
being able to facilitate having a family and having children. That's really what it all boils down to. Even moral practices like going to church, not cheating on your wife, not stealing, not murdering, all these things boil down to putting you in the best situation where you have the most successful family unit and are most likely to raise productive, effective, moral children that can then go on and they themselves be successful at passing on your genetic material. If that is the goal, being platonic friends with a woman doesn't make sense. It doesn't move you any closer to doing that. So let's talk about two of the reasons why you'll hear men say, oh no, it's good to have female friends. One is there are men that believe that by becoming friends with a woman, it will help him to date her friends. Women are typically friends with women, so if you don't know that many women, you would think, okay, I become friends with this one woman, and that will open me up to a network of women that she can then, introduce.
Why they don't even?
This pretty much never works. Why is that? Because you become friends with this woman, right? And we already know it's a woman that you want to or would or is good looking enough to where it makes sense that you'd want to fuck her, right? But you don't.
Okay.
Friends. Her friends sees that you two are friends, and she's like, oh, you and let's say your name is John, because that will become relevant later. And her name's Ashley. And they go up to Ashley and like, oh, Ashley, I see you hanging out with that John guy. Are you two? What's Ashley gonna be? Because you've hammered home to her, no, we're just friends, right? And she's made sure you know that we're just friends. Oh, me, John, no, nah, no, we're just friends. You know what that does? All of her friends are not gonna look at you as if you are undesirable. Why? Because women tend to, even though yes, a woman will be friends with a woman that is somewhat, particularly less attractive than her, women do tend to flock together in like a range. So very rarely will you see a woman that is like a 10 that is friends with a woman that's like a 4. You'll see them in like I would say a 4 to 5 range gap. So you'll maybe have a girl that's a 10 who's friends with a 5, probably not close friends, but like, yeah, you'll see a girl that's a 7, she has a friend that's a 9, she has a friend that's a 5. You'll see that. So all of these girls are not going to look at you and be like, ooh, wait a minute. If she don't want to fuck with you and she's like being very clear that y'all is just friends, they not going to want to fuck with you either. It's why the reverse is true. Why when you do get into a relationship with a girl, it becomes very easy to her friends, if her friends are about that. You feel me? Especially if you break up with her. Why is that the case? Because you've been vetted. You've been verified. It's the reason why you get in a relationship and all of a sudden girls are sliding in your DMs. Perfect. Why is that?
It be like that.
It's called social proof, social validation. Bruh. Other women are able to look at you and be like, oh, well, if she like you, she not that much better looking than me, or she not, or we about the same in terms of looks. Well, if fucking with you, then there got to be something good about that. That means I could fuck with you too. You've been validated. It's the reason why when men get famous, women flock to them, because they've been validated on a mass scale. So it's why the opposite is true. If you've been rejected, you've been put in that friend zone. In the eyes of all of her friends, you now become that less appealing. That shit does not work like that. The other reason, she is not a good source of information for attracting women. Some dudes, and this is a mistake dudes will often make when they're younger, is thinking that, oh, I'm having lady troubles, let me go ask a lady. And I get,
bro, I did that before, and let me tell you, bro, never in your life do that. I set myself up for failure. Like, never in your life do that. The reason why, that's very simple. They tell you A and they do B. They literally don't follow their own advice. They literally prove that their advice is kept. You feel me? You shouldn't listen to what a woman says. You should look what she does. She says your type is John, who goes to work, goes to bed, perfect man, kept, because she goes for Benjamin, and Benjamin is a fuck nigga. So then she likes fuck niggas.
yes, I can see how that makes sense, right? Because a lot of us do this when we're younger, before we really get any experience in the dating world. Of thinking, this girl don't like me, I'll ask this girl because she's a girl, so she must know. Maybe if she's like a dyke. Truth be told, there are some lesbian women out here that got more game than some dudes out there. That's just a fact.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If it's a straight woman, which it more than likely is, right? Because we're not talking about gay women with this video. Those straight women have zero experience in attracting other straight women. Why? Because they're straight. They're not going to know what straight women want. They've never tried to holler at one. They've never tried to acquire one. How many times have you heard this story? Oh my God, he doesn't reply fast enough. I hate that about him. But then when the dude that does reply fast comes along, what does she do? She curves him. Come on now. Think, guys. Women do not know what they want. The two common reasons why you hear men try to justify why they're friends with a woman, I've just shown you how they're fucking illogical and don't make any sense. All right, so let's keep it moving. Men can better relate to each other's challenges. Men can provide better information for successfully acquiring a desirable mate. Another dude is going to know what it's like to go through most of the challenges that I have to go through as a dude, because so many of our obstacles in life are based on our sex. They're challenges that only men will be able to relate to. So it makes more sense to have be friends with a man who can help you get through that, because he knows what you're going through. Also, men have all the experience in talking to women, in trying to attract straight women, because only straight men talk to straight women. That's it. So it's much better to go to a dude who's not down a few girls when you're having girl problems than it is to go to a woman. Also, men are more honest. Let's say you're fat and unattractive, or you smell bad, or there's something fucking up your game, something that you could fix that would improve your chances at talking to girls or better looking girls. You're much more likely to get that advice from another dude. How many times have you seen the friend group where there's that one fat chick? How often do you think that fat girl has ever been told, if ever, by one of her skinnier friends that she's fat and needs to lose weight?
Never.
No,
They
they're gonna
don't
be
say
like,
that.
oh, don't
Body
worry.
positivity.
You're so beautiful.
You're so strong.
You're such a good person. You have such a warm soul. You're so loving. All that.
You're still fat though. Lose weight.
Get a better man. Men have no problem being honest. If I have a homie and he's fat, I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, I'm not gonna be mean about it and be like, damn, bro, you a fat bastard. But I'll be like, hey, bro, you've been putting on a little weight.
Yeah.
Let me help you. Let me help you figure out a diet plan. Let me help you figure out a workout plan. I'm not gonna lie to him and say, oh, you have such a good soul. You're such a good person. And I'm like, nigga, that ain't gonna help you get no bitches, nigga. You gotta lose this weight. You gotta get in the gym. You feel me? That's where, again, it's more of an advantage to have
gotta
men
go
as
to
a
the
friend.
gym,
Of course,
man.
men will challenge you to become a better man. You see your homeboy working out, improving himself. It kind of stirs something up in you to say, damn, I should get in the gym too, or else, I can't let this nigga be the only one out here improving himself and get more money and, having better outcomes with women. And of course, men will amplify your masculinity, which is a positive trait to have. Be more masculine makes you more successful in the dating world. It makes you more successful in the business world, and you emulate the people that you're around. You're most influenced by the people you spend most of your time with. So if you're oftentimes around women because you have female friends, you're going to become more feminine, which is ultimately going to hurt you in life if you're a man. And if you're around men, you're more than likely going to become more masculine. Of course, the more masculine your friends are, the more of a masculine effect it will have on you, which is why you should try not to be friends with feminine niggas or goofy niggas, because it's going to make you feminine and it's going to make you goofy. If women can't help you get pussy, if women can't help you become a better man, and if men are far superior friends to men than women, why then do you have instances of men trying to be friends, claiming to be just friends with women?
It don't make sense. Like, that's why I don't feel like I just don't feel like having female friends. Like, I don't see the point of it. You feel me? That's the reason. Like, he explained it briefly. I don't see the point of it at all. Like, at all.
It all comes down to this. There are two types of male friends, right? The beta friend, which is the most common instance of the male friend. And to sum it up, it is the result of a failed attempt to establish an intimate relationship. And you also have what I like to call the backup man friend. Now, this is very rare. This is very rare, but we'll talk about it, right? Don't get too excited. If you are friends with a woman, I can almost guarantee that you're a beta friend. But there may be one and two of you who are actually the backup dude friend. We'll go into that. In this situation, the woman is willing but has decided not to be in an intimate relationship with this man at this point in time. I.e., this is a dude that a woman would, right? Let's continue with this. So, why do men become beta friends with women? The majority of male-female relationships are born out of a male's failed attempt at becoming sexual with the woman. In many cases, the male has never made a move due to a lack of game or fear. Out of denial, many men will continue the friendship in order to hide the failure of the direct or indirect romantic attempt. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
That's facts.
I just laid it out for you.
That's facts, bro. When you don't got the game, or you cannot finesse the right way, or you never really tried, but you look, you want to try, so you got the fear, you automatically become friends. You set yourself up for failure, man. I gotta improve. fuck, nigga? I can't be doing this shit, no. Man.
That's most male-female relationships. To hammer home what this is, to really help you to visualize and understand what I mean by this definition of a beta friend, I'm gonna tell you a story of a guy, John. Remember we talked about John earlier? Well, let's meet John. John,
Okay.
a junior in high school, is placed in a group assignment with Sarah, who he finds attractive. Under usual circumstances, John would never have approached Sarah. But due to mere coincidence, they must now work together on the group project.
Okay, John.
John, being a
Okay,
friendly
John.
and likable person, Sarah grows fond of him. Perfect. They exchange numbers under the guise of the group project, but soon they are communicating about more than the project, even outside of class. They share stories, jokes, memes, all the while Sarah is responding positively and in a friendly manner. Sarah sometimes sends messages, which John is unable to determine if there are any romantic undertones, such as a heart or hug emoji, but never anything explicit or direct. Due to John's lack of game and fear of rejection, he continues to play the friend role in hopes that one day things will become more apparent. He never makes a move or lets his attraction to her be known. Eventually, John either accepts that Sarah is uninterested in him and probably never was and then drifts away, or in order to rationalize all of the time and energy invested in the relationship, he continues the friendship and denies the original feelings of attraction that first inspired the relationship. He further rationalizes the relationship on the basis of his lack of choice in their introduction, the group project, and the fact that Sarah is a decent person because decent people make good friends. Are you a John? Are you a beta friend? Here's a checklist. A. Were you initially forced to communicate? That is, maybe a mutual friend introduced you, maybe you had a
I'm thinking like I'm gonna put. I don't wanna put no names. I don't even have no female friends. I probably have like one or two. Probably one. You feel me? So, but for the sake, I'm gonna think of a few people. No names. You feel me?
assignment together, or maybe you have a job where you work together. B.
Okay.
Were you sexually attracted to her upon meeting her? I mean, that's pretty straightforward. C, and this is a key one. This is almost a nail in the coffin, right? Was the foundation of the relationship based on you providing some form of assistance?
Nah.
That is advice, work or school assistance, or you were like a network node. That is, she's into music. You know, you have a lot of music world connections, so you were able to be that guy that kind of introduced her to people in that world, right? Were you in any way providing her some sort of assistance? And then also to follow that up, D, does she communicate less with you or grow distant when she is in a relationship or when you aren't of much assistance at the time? If these are true, and it doesn't have to be all of them, but these are just like if you answered yes to 2 or more of these questions, I can almost guarantee that you are a beta friend. If you answered yes to all of them, then you're for sure a beta friend. And if you
Were you initially forced to communicate? I would say like that's like kinda, not really, but kinda. Cause you're in the same space for a while, so it's weird if you don't communicate.
yes to 3 of them, then yeah, you're a beta friend for sure. Now let's talk about the backup man friend, right? First and foremost, this is not a friend. This is a male that the woman is sexually attracted to, but due to either being in a good relationship, meaning she loves her man, a stable, resource abundant relationship, meaning maybe she's in a relationship with a dude that really offers a lot to her. She might not be in love with him, but he has so much to offer that it's not worth the risk of fucking that up to, actually mess with the backup man friend. Or because the male is uninterested in a real relationship, that is, she knows that this dude doesn't really want to fuck with her like that, like on that level, like he would pipe, but he's not gonna commit to her, so it don't make sense for her to leave her man to go fuck with him, even though they would be able to sleep together. She knows that wouldn't lead anywhere successful. For if any of those 3 reasons, she's gonna label him as just a friend. This is a dude that she would possibly cheat with. This is a dude that she may have past sexual relationships with. So if she has slept with this dude in the past and now only refers to him as a friend, and 9 out of 10 times she's not going to tell her boyfriend or her man that they used to sleep together, this dude will also get labeled as a friend. But this is not a beta friend, right? This is the backup man. Why do men become the backup man friend for women, right? This is a man who has game and knowledge of female nature.
Perfect.
He is able to tell that the woman is sexually attracted to him. He does not see her as a friend, but she sees him as one, especially to justify interacting with him, though she knows she's sexually attracted to him, especially in a relationship. Meaning that if she knows she is attracted to this dude, she has feelings to this dude, but due to circumstances, she's able to put him in that friend box, she's going to do that to justify to herself that she's not being a slimy woman to her man. You feel me? When she knows she has feelings for this dude, and maybe the boyfriend finds out about his existence and he asks about that, she can then say to herself, oh, he's just a friend. This is known as the wolf in sheep's clothing, right? In the instance that she is in a relationship, he will lie in wait, nurturing the sexual tension for an opportune time to capitalize. If she were single, he would have just directly shot his shot. The woman sees this man as a good replacement candidate should her current relationship not work out. This is the backup man. So just like with John, let's meet Chad, a backup man example. Chad is a 27-year-old assistant manager at a bank. One of his subordinates, Nikki, is a 22-year-old teller who Chad finds attractive. Chad is very friendly to Nikki at work. He holds a masculine frame, carries himself in an attractive way, smells good, and is charismatic. Nikki finds Chad attractive. Nikki is currently in a 5-year relationship with her high school sweetheart.
That's a long time.
Occasionally, Chad and Nikki take lunch together.
Okay.
Chad shares superficial details about himself, but never anything deep or personal. Most of their conversations are about Nikki. Chad is a good listener and is very encouraging to Nikki. He also doesn't try to impress Nikki or tries hard to make her laugh, but sometimes he says something funny and charming. Eventually, Nikki becomes comfortable enough to open up to Chad about occasional hiccups in the relationship. But Chad never talks ill of her boyfriend, unlike the foolish beta friend, and instead focuses on giving her words of encouragement and upliftment. This is a great way to tell a difference between a Chad and a beta friend, between the backup man and the beta friend. The backup man has enough game and is wise enough to know that shitting on her current boyfriend or man, even in the instance that there is a hiccup going on, that is not going to get him any closer to sleeping with her. This is a mistake that the beta friend will often make, and why you hear stories of the beta dude being the one that the girl runs and cries to. Oh, he's cheating. Oh, he's not treating me good. Oh, he don't reply enough. Oh, he treated me like this. And then bro will be like, oh, that's why you should leave him. Oh, bro is toxic, da da da. And then what happens? She goes right back to the boyfriend. That's the difference between a Chad and a John, between a beta and a backup man. All right, continuing with our hypothetical here. Chad and Nikki exchange numbers under the guise of work purposes. Chad never contacts Nikki for any reason outside of work. If Nikki messages him for something outside of work, he replies, but does not carry the conversation. He does not joke with her. He does not send long messages. He does not use emojis. He may send the occasional LOL, haha, or aha. Chad does not make himself available to Nikki outside of work. Nikki never overtly flirts with Chad, but subconsciously she has been giving him choosing signals. That is, she touches him on his arm before saying something to him. She stands closer than necessary when around him. She laughs freely at his attempts to be funny. Chad notices these, does not act. One night, the bank throws an employees only party. Nikki invites her boyfriend, but chooses not to come. As the night goes on, Nikki and Chad become slightly intoxicated. At some point, Chad makes his move, placing his hand on the small of Nikki's back as he leans in to tell her something. Nothing sexual, maybe he teases a fellow employee that they both dislike. Nikki does not pull away, and she laughs at the joke. She leans into him as she laughs. Chad then continues the rest of the night as normal. Nikki goes home to her boyfriend, and Chad goes home knowing that the seed has been planted. and that he has confirmed Nikki's sexual attraction to him. Now, another difference between a Chad and a John, between a beta and a backup man,
Because
is that
King required, the reason why I think it says King required, he was able to go that close in a personal space, touching her, being all up on her, without her pulling away. That just means, you feel me, that he's that guy.
that
You feel
in
me?
that situation, one, the beta is probably not putting his hand on the smaller back and being smooth like that. But even if he did, the beta might not be able to tell that a woman, laughing and leaning into him in a physical and maybe even subconscious way, communicating that she's attracted to him. A lot of communication occurs in just body language. When if a woman is uncomfortable, she'll oftentimes cross her hands, cross her arms, she'll lean back, maybe she'll smile with her teeth. Like these are all subtle signs that you really have to study psychology and do a little research into body language communication to know about. But yeah, something like her giggling and leaning into you, making unnecessary contact with you, these are all signs that she's sexually attracted to you. At this point, Chad waits. Nikki will reach out to him at some point, whether it is during a point where she has low attraction to her boyfriend or during a breakup. From there, Chad and Nikki will either engage in an affair or begin to date each other. Are you a Chad? Again, most likely not. But let's see. You do not see this girl as a friend, though you act friendly. B, you acknowledge that you are attracted to this girl to your friend. C, your relationship is a result of being forced to interact with each other, such as with work. School usually doesn't apply here. If you're friends with a girl through school, I can almost guarantee you that that is a beta friend relationship. Here's why. Because with work, with like the Chad and Nikki situation, Chad has to interact with Nikki in the sense that she's a teller that works under him being an assistant bank manager. So it gives him an opportunity to communicate with her, hold a masculine frame, and use game while being able to hide it under the guise as, I gotta talk to her. I gotta interact with her. This is my co-worker. This is my subordinate. You feel me? With school, even with a group project that lasts, a week, couple weeks at best. With school, there is always going to be you're not forced to talk to this woman for a long period of time. It quickly becomes a point where it's obvious that you are volunteering, that you are choosing to interact with her. So with Chad, he's protected from being put in the friend zone based on their interaction. You feel me? Like at school, that's how you quickly end up in the friend zone is, you're not shooting your shot, but you're voluntarily interacting with her. You're putting yourself in the friend zone. So that's why school usually doesn't apply here. And I can almost guarantee you, if you are friends with a woman as a result of school or being in a class together or whatever, if you're still friends at this point, you are not a Chad, you're a John. Let's continue with asking questions to see if you're a Chad. You do not make yourself available to her outside of the context of where you have to interact. And lastly, and this one is key, you are sexually active with other women that are at least about as attractive as the girl, the friend. So really, this is the nail in the coffin. Chad has to be fucking girls that are about in the same league or better as Nikki. This is key. If you are not the backup man, why is that? Remember, the girl, the Nikki, does not really see you as a friend. She will call you a friend to her girlfriends, to her boyfriend, as to hide her sexual attraction to the guy. But she doesn't really see you as a friend in the same way that she sees the Johns in her life, that she sees her girlfriends, because she thinks that you're probably fucking girls that look just as good as her, if not better. She is confident that other women find you attractive. She would sleep with you if she was single or if shit was bad with her boyfriend. But because she's in a relationship, she has to justify interacting with you and keeping that connection going so that, in the case where she needs a new man, you're a good candidate. She calls you a friend. That's a Chat. So what do both of these men have in common? They want to fuck your girl. They want to fuck the woman that they're friends with. So let's talk about why I don't date women who have close male friends, right? We talked about this in my reaction to Stanley Animation's video talking about being the male best friend. So let's talk about the two kinds.
I watched it and then
react. The beta friends. These are not a threat. They're also known as beta orbiters. If a woman has, a couple of these, that's I'm not worried about that. You know, oftentimes a woman will have mostly female friends, like the average woman, she'll have mostly female friends, if not all female friends. But occasionally she may have one or two Johns in her life that she either met in school or at work or something like that. These dudes are not to be taken as a threat. They are not backup men. Because why? Because she would have already f***ed them before she met you. There was at some point she was single enough to start fucking with you. She already knew these guys. She would have went and started fucking with them if she actually was attracted to them. But she's not, so she's fucking with you. No reason to be threatened by them. A big mistake that men make, and I made this mistake back in high school with my high school girlfriend, is becoming jealous and just of any man that is around your girl that's not like family. You know, you see all men, this is, oh, I'm possessive, territorial. What? It's due to not understanding that these men are really not a threat. In fact, the only time they become a threat is when you turn them into threats. If you start acting jealous or insecure because your girl has, you know, these 1 and 2 Johns in her life, dudes that she already disqualified, dudes that she already was like, oh, I wouldn't fuck with these dudes. She sees you and she's like, oh, this nigga's lit. Like, I'll fuck with this dude. If all of a sudden the lit nigga starts seeming insecure of the dudes that she don't think are dope, now she gonna be looking at you, oh, maybe you're not as lit as I thought you was. You feel me? And it might end in you guys breaking up, and she may or may not go with the dude that you're jealous of because you've now hyped him up. So she might, you know, temporarily find him more attractive, but that will also fade. And what is most likely to happen is maybe, you know, they'll get a little intimate, maybe they'll fuck, most likely not. But if they do, it won't last long. They'll eventually break up. But what's most likely, she won't fuck with them anyway. So she'll end up leaving you because you was jealous of a nigga that she's still not gonna fuck anyway. That's more than likely what will happen.
Give me 2 seconds, bro. Like, to literally, like, it's not gonna be long at all.
So don't be worried about beta friends. Let's talk about the backup man though. This is a possible threat. Why you don't want to condone your girl being friends with this dude? Because you don't want to make it easy. You feel me? Right? This is a man that she finds attractive and would sleep with under the right conditions. And we're going to talk about that. First and foremost, let's talk about ways to tell whether a male friend is a Chad or is a John. Now, you know, there's really no 100% way to tell outside of meeting them. You know, if you meet the dude and he seems just as cool and smooth as you are, that probably means you'd f him, right? If he is around as good looking as you are and he's just as smooth as you, that's a problem. But one thing to take into consideration is when she met him. If she was friends with these dudes before you, they're probably beta friends. If she became friends with this dude after you, and it doesn't fall into one of the exceptions like work or school or whatever, if she met this dude after you, there's a possibility he's a new backup man in her life. Again, you really got to meet him and get his vibe and see what kind of, you know, energy he got to really know. And even then, you know, these are things that women can conceal. You never really know how close your girl is with a dude at work or at school or something like that. But either way, the backup man is, you know, who you need to be wary of. Now, let's talk about how do you neutralize the threat of a backup man, right? You gotta stay on your toes, continue to prove that you are the better option, keep improving, maintain a masculine frame. Long story short, remain the man that she fell in love with at the very least. Like, don't ever become worse than the dude she hooked up with, that she started dating. In fact, you should always be improving yourself, because women are very rational creatures, believe it or not. They're very emotional creatures in some regards, but they're also women are good at making choices that have to do with stability. So let's say, you know, you're a dude. Let's say you're about a 7 in looks, you make average income for a guy your age, you're in, you know, decent enough shape, and let's say you are a solid to good catch for the woman that you're dating. Let's say she's at work, a new guy starts working there with her, and maybe he makes a little bit more money, or maybe he's a little better looking than you, or, you know, maybe he's a little, maybe he got a little bit more game, maybe a little smoother, because she already knows what she's getting with you. And if you are maintaining your masculine frame and she can see that you're improving yourself, you know, you're trying to make a way to make more money down the line, you're in the gym trying to get in better shape, she's gonna look at that. She's gonna look at the potential, she's gonna look at the history, she's gonna look at how comfortable and familiar she is with you. And even though this dude may look somewhat better in some, if maybe not all regards, she's gonna be loyal to you because this is an unassessed, this is too much risk over here. You feel me? So that's how you'll end up with, like,
Irish
I don't
low
know,
reward.
like you'll go and ask a girl like, oh, would you leave your man for Chris Brown or Drake or, you know, some famous dude that's good looking and rich and famous? Would you leave your man for that? And your man is just a regular man. A lot of women will say no and genuinely mean it. Why is that? Now, I'm not saying they might not cheat on their man depending on the situation, but leave him and be with him. Why? Because women are rational. They'll know that, oh, Drake or, you know, Chris Brown
Get a
or
new flame
whoever
like
the fuck,
this,
they
like
could
this,
get
like that,
1,000
like that,
me's,
like
a
that.
million me's. If I leave my good man who's, you know, rocking with me and supporting me to go fuck with this dude, even though I may find him more attractive, he's not even gonna remember my name by next week, and then I'm gonna be single and have nobody. You get what I'm saying? So a good way to neutralize the threat of the backup man is just make sure that you stay on your toes, but also you got to make sure that you're dating a woman of high moral standards. That is a woman that was never a thought, you feel me? A woman that you know you can trust, and a woman
Facts.
preferably that has some religious faith, that has some religious moral compass going on. Why is that? Because nobody's perfect. There are gonna be days where you lose your masculine frame. There are gonna be days where you get emotional. You know, there are gonna be days when you're not being your best self. There are gonna be times when you argue and she might not like you that much, or that in that point in time. It's moments like those that are going to require her having a high degree of moral integrity to not look at the backup man and run to it just as soon as shit looks shaky. You feel me? So a part of it is trying to be your best and do your best as much as you can, but also making sure to select a good quality woman. Referring back, there's really nothing you can do about the backup man. I mean, if you're in a situation where your girl is texting a dude all the time and, you know, like she has this one guy that she's very close to, and if your gut tells you that this dude is a real threat or anything, if you aren't able to just say to her, hey, you need to dead this is inappropriate, I don't like how this look, I don't like how it feels. If she give you any pushback from that, you need to leave this woman. Quite frankly, that should not have happened to even begin with. And, you know, my fiance, or my wife, I've never had that issue with. You know, when I met her, she had a couple Johns in her life, and like I said, they faded away. These are not men you need to worry about. You know, dudes she met in college that she was friendly with, and, you know, like, as I was writing this whole seminar or this whole presentation, I read it to her to get her thoughts, you know, see if I missed any holes or if she had any rebuttals, because she is a licensed lawyer, so, you know, she knows how to argue points. And she said, as I was talking about it, that friend that I'm talking about, she was like, oh, this presentation, when you were talking about the beta friends, it reminded me of this friend. And I never quite saw him like that, but the way you described it describes him perfectly. So yeah, really and truly, that's the argument right there. It's not the women. That's not why men and women can't be friends. It don't really got nothing to do with the women. Because yeah, a woman can be friends or friendly with a man that she has no desire to sleep with and would never sleep with. Why not? She ain't got nothing to lose. She only stand to gain shit. You know, there's a person that's gonna give her time and attention and possibly even spend money on her. But men don't operate the same way. So fellas, this is why I say don't get in a relationship with a woman who, one, has a ton of friends, even if they're all a ton of male friends, even if they're Johns. One and
Facts.
two Johns is normal and acceptable, but if she has a lot of male friends, especially if she has very few or no female friends, red flag, stay away. She's probably a thought. More than likely, at least one of those friends is a Chad, is a backup man, is probably a dude she's slept with, or, you know, is planned to sleep with. That's not a good
Like,
look.
how you got more
Again,
friends than me? That don't make
Chad,
sense.
you know, that one, if she has like one Chad in her life, again, she would have started dating the Chad if she was single. If she just got the you know, the one or two Johns in her life, that's cool. Don't stress him. You know, especially if they were there before you were there. And then with the Chad, women really keep these a secret. They really try to hide these from you. They really don't want you to, because they're the backups. You feel me? A lot of women have backups they'll never use. You feel me? It's no different than, you know, if I were to get a college degree. I'm not planning to ever need a college degree, but you know, it's there if I need it. You feel me? But I want to figure out how to make this YouTube money last forever. You know, pivot the YouTube money into something else, maybe real estate or whatever. I don't ever want to have to rely on a degree, but you know, I might get, well, I wouldn't, because I'm not that kind of person. But you know, if a guy like me in my position, I could see him getting one just to say, you know, just in case. You never know. That's what those dudes are. So, you know, not really much you can do about that. But yeah, that's the presentation. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you have any rebuttals, leave it down in the comment section. Try to keep, if you
W
make this
video,
very
man.
long comment, I'm not gonna read it. So
That's a W video. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I honestly agree. I don't actually have like female friends. I have one on the top of my head. Yeah, I've only have one. You feel me? So I actually agree. Cause I'm cool with her. I wouldn't try anything, but if she would be like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm gonna be like, "Shit, what's up?" You feel me? So I agree. Man. W fit, Young Don. You feel me? Hey, if y'all enjoyed, like the video, subscribe, all that good shit, man. I'ma see y'all in the next one. Tell me in the comments below what I should react to. You feel me? Road to 100 subs. 10K subs before Corona ends. Let's get it.